boy, do I have a story for you guys. So I was driving my girl to work, normal day, in the morning, stopped at a red light, and I got hit very bad on the back of my car. It's been like my third accident in like 2 months. Professor WYKO hasn't been lucky lately. But I won't let that stop us. I'm going to explain how I made the initial idea for my jungle. Let's go! Okay, let's go. Let's check out the drop and the initial idea for my jungle. Let's go. So I'm going to be explaining how the initial idea was born because VTR did the vocal part. He recorded himself and he worked on his own vocals. I just gave it a couple of tweaks for it to fit a little bit better on the song. Then Sixcap helped me out a bunch on the trap parts in the song because I had kind of a difficulty on that part, and he really made the twist. Plus some final changes and some final power to the song. He really made the difference. But I'm going to be explaining the initial idea. So the horns, basically a jungle vibe was my first approach. So I knew I could what kind of job I wanted to do, and I knew I could do it because I've done it before. But I wanted to do something very different and very special for this, I'd say, at the time, because this song is actually pretty old. But I wanted to give it a kind of spooky, yet at the same time junglish, but yet uplifting. So a mix of all that. So we have the jungle element. But then this was also tweaked. A part of it was removed, so the break wouldn't be so long. Now we go to the brasses, because these are brasses for the chords. So basic stuff, contact. Kind of darker vibes related to the chords. I was searching for that. And even the bass line was just in order for it to actually sound as spooky and as real as possible. So that was a vibe I was really going for in all of the elements. Now that I'm hearing this, I'm kind of missing VTR's vocals, you know. So for the next part, the initial trap idea that was tweaked by Sixcap. Yeah, the newer version is much better. But yeah, we're gonna start from here. So the initial melody was like this. Well, let me just find it. There we go. So the initial melody was like this. So it's kind of the drop melody. But what I did was with grow speed was just put it at half speed. It's kind of something that's done frequently on trap songs. Use grow speed for that, and it just happened. And yeah, if you put the trap beat on top, it's kind of done. Kind of like that. Still the melody, setting the vibe. yeah, with the top melody. Oh, I muted it, sorry. Pretty simple stuff. And then the build up, mainly samples. The build up. And now for the job that you guys want so much. Okay, so pretty simple stuff as well. I did not spend too much time on detail on the song. I just spent on the general idea. But yeah, since it was this style, it didn't require much time invested into the details. Worked on the top kick, percussions, the main kick, that I actually pitched down. So it was like the initial key of this. So the key of the song is C sharp, and the key of this kick is G sharp. Why? Because I want the initial punch to be in a higher key, because you feel the punch much more if it's in a higher key. And what matters, I think I've explained this before, what matters in the kick is like in a big room kick, what matters is the end tail. So if that is in the right key, the whole kick is going to be in key. So G sharp to C sharp. And then the one shots. And then another layer for the kick. This is a kick that I found or used or made. I don't remember, to be honest. But it's from, if I did make it, it was in a different project. Back with the percussions and the top kick. And finally, the brass one shots. The fills. And the part that you guys are always wondering, the lead. See, the lead without the rest of the elements is just weird and weak. The lead needs the rest. The drop is like a mixture of elements that without each other, they sound very bad. If they're put together, it's a whole and it's good. So that's kind of how it works. That's kind of how I do things. For this lead, it's basically the Adana lead as well, with a lot of pitch bending. Like I've shown you guys before, the pitch bending, the speed, like 1/32 of speed, 1/32 of speed. So it's a very fast pitch bending, basically, and that's what shapes the lead. If I remove the pitch bending triggers, which are these, it's gonna sound very different. Very shitty. And the different part is I added some extra layers. I added some extra vocal chops. That put together will sound like this. I don't think I used this one. Yeah, I did. So yeah. So vocal samples plus the vocal lead mixed together plus the pinch bending is what makes the lead. For this part, like super simple. Very, very big kick with a pitch bend to enhance its strength. Percussion to give it movement. One shots. A little bit of a top kick. Horns and the fills between the leads. And it's basically it. Now you join that with a freaky lead, and you have a drop. Alright, so for the trap part, mainly the same thing, but I just did a different loop for this. So I used the same top kicks, but I just layered it with this. So I did the volume automation for this, so it only comes, this kick only comes on when these stop playing. So when these stop playing, I let the volume of this one go up. Did a little bit of the trap element vibes, so the trap percussions. And the mid snares, mid section snares. And that's how I did the switch up in the second part of the drop. And in this initial idea, I didn't worry too much about the details and filling up the space for the break and everything, because I knew that this really needed a vocal to express what I was feeling at the moment. So I just left it kind of empty to give it room for a vocalist that I would find to work on it. And VTR did an amazing job. I was just blown away. This was his first try, and it just worked. He actually tried to do a second recording of what he had done, and we just said no, and we stuck with his first try. It was really on point. The lyrics, the melodies was exactly what I wanted. He did an amazing job. He's an amazing vocalist. I really love his job. And that's all for the initial idea. So it's about you having your vision, the theme for the song, what you want to approach. I had to be very specific to VTR for him to understand that the vibe I was going for, and we immediately clicked on the vibe. He's actually, funny story, he's actually from the same city as me. Yeah, and we actually crossed paths once. But I don't think we recognized each other. So everything that we worked was just via online. But it was still amazing to work with him. So yeah, guys, have your vibe, your approach to the song well defined. Work with vocalists. It's super fun. Play outside the box, and you're gonna have a nice result here. Super simple work. Hope you guys liked it. WYKO on, WYKO.